The first distress beacon arrived at the Galactic Council as little more than static, a garbled transmission from the last expedition sent to Earth. Then came the second, the third, each one cut off mid-sentence, each voice filled with mounting terror. The final message was a single, chilling whisper, barely audible over the static. "It sees us. It knows we're here. We were wrong. This is not a death world." A long pause. Then, just before silence claimed the transmission, "It's worse." The transmission crackles with static, warping into a voice that sounds more like a dying breath. "We were wrong. It's not a death world. It's worse." The message cuts off. Arch-Commander Zalvor stands in the control bay of his warship, arms folded, staring at the image of Earth on the holographic display. A cursed, dead planet. No one has ever returned from it. No escape pods. No distress beacons. Nothing. And yet here he was, leading an expedition straight into the abyss. "Drop pods are prepped, sir," an officer reports. "We'll land in 20. Zalvor doesn't respond. He's fought in hundreds of battles. Crushed rebellions. Laid waste to entire colonies. Nothing unnerves him. But something about this mission feels wrong. The silence. The lack of resistance. As if the planet itself knew they were coming. He turns to his second-in-command, General Velos. "Status?" Velos checks his data slate. "Scanners pick up no life forms, no heat signatures. Ruins of a former civilization, overgrown. It's empty." Zalvor exhales. "Then let's solve this mystery." The planet rushes up to meet them as the drop pods break atmosphere, a silent descent into the unknown. The first squad touches down in a ruined cityscape. Towering structures, long abandoned, half swallowed by nature. The air is heavy. Too still. "Commander, we've landed. No hostiles in sight," crackles a voice through Zalvor's comm. "Advance," he orders. The squads move forward in formation, weapons primed. No movement. No sound. Not even the rustling of wind. Something is watching them. A sharp scream cuts through the silence. "Squad 6, report!" Velos shouts. Silence. A second later, another scream. This time closer. Weapons snap up, soldiers turning in every direction. The ruins press in, shadows swallowing entire platoons. The tension grips like a vice. A static-ridden voice breaks through comms. "We're not alone." Then gunfire. Explosions. A guttural, wet noise. A choking gurgle. Then nothing. Zalvor tightens his grip on his weapon. Fallback pattern. Now. The squads turn to retreat. That's when he appears. A lone figure steps from the ruins, silhouetted against the dead world's gloom. Humanoid. Clad in battered armor, forged from the wreckage of wars long forgotten. One man. One survivor. His voice cuts through the comms like a blade through bone. "You don't belong here." A moment of hesitation, a fatal mistake. The figure moves. Faster than anything they've seen. A blur of death. The first soldier barely has time to react before a blade slams into his gut, twisting upward, severing armor, flesh, and bone. A second soldier raises his rifle, too slow. The figure breaks his arm at the elbow with a sickening crunch, yanks the gun away, and fires a burst straight into his chest. Panic erupts. Plasma fire rains down, but the figure moves like a specter, weaving between blasts with unnatural precision. Explosions light up the ruins. Then the whispers start. Over their comms. "You shouldn't have come. Earth doesn't like visitors." Zalvor watches in stunned silence as his best warriors fall like insects. The figure reloads. A single man standing against an army. And winning. Velos snarls. "Burn him!" Flamethrowers ignite. Fire spews toward the lone warrior, engulfing the ruins in an inferno. Then movement. The figure leaps from the flames, completely unharmed. He lands, driving a blade into the skull of a flame trooper, twisting it free in a spray of crimson. The other soldiers stumble back in horror. You came looking for answers, the figure says, voice like grinding steel. The only thing you're gonna find is death. A grenade lands at his feet. Boom. Dust and debris scatter in all directions. A moment of silence. Then, the dust parts. He's still standing. Unscathed. For the first time in his life, Salvor feels fear. Retreat, he orders, voice barely above a whisper. Too late for that. The figure charges. A knife finds its home in an Eridani throat. Blood sprays. The body drops. A rifle butt smashes into a soldier's skull, caving it in. Another falls. Another. One man. Against an army. And he is slaughtering them. Salvor barely dodges a knife aimed for his ribs. His plasma sword ignites, parrying a second attack. Their blades clash. Salvor pushes back, throwing his full weight into a counterstrike. The figure catches it with one hand. Eyes meet. And Salvor realizes the truth. This isn't a survivor. This is a predator. This man, this thing, is not just fighting. He's playing with them. Who are you? Salvor breathes. A slow, blood-stained grin. Dante Graves. The last son of Earth. And you? Dante steps closer, eyes burning. You're just another fool who thought Earth was empty. He wipes the blood from his blade. You're gonna wish it was. The columns flicker to life. General! The ships. Static. Then. They're gone. A wave of horror spreads through the remaining forces. Their ships erased. No way off-world. No escape. Salvor stares at Dante, realization dawning. You, this world. Dante's smirk sharpens. Welcome to hell. The last thing Salvor hears before the world erupts into chaos is Dante's laughter. And then, the hunt begins. The silence after the slaughter is deafening. The air is thick with the scent of burning ozone and blood. Salvor stands rigid, plasma sword humming in his grip, his elite forces butchered in the span of minutes. Dante Graves is still standing, unshaken, unscathed. One man. Against an army. And he isn't even breathing hard. The columns crackle with panicked voices. General! We're losing all signals. Our ships are gone. Salvor stiffens. Gone? Impossible. He turns to Velos, who stares at his scanner in horror. They're right. The fleet, it's just gone. No debris. No wreckage. It's as if it was never there. Dante exhales sharply, rolling his shoulders, stepping over bodies like they were nothing more than broken toys. His voice calm. Amused. Took Earth about 5 minutes to digest your ships. You thought you were stepping onto a battlefield. What you really walked into? A mouth. Salvor's grip on his sword tightens. What kind of trick is this? Dante scoffs. Trick? Nah. Trick means there's a way to beat it. You don't beat Earth. You survive it. The last few soldiers tighten their formations, their confidence shattered, eyes flicking between their commander and the man who just annihilated an entire squad without breaking a sweat. Velos steadies his rifle, his voice wavering. What the hell are you? Dante steps closer, dragging his blade against his forearm. The wound seals instantly. Regeneration. Not nanotech. Not cybernetics. Something else. I was born here, he says, his grin sharp as steel. You weren't. Salvor processes the implications with the cold efficiency of a soldier. No human should be capable of what he's seeing. But Dante isn't just a human. He's something else. Something made by Earth. The shadows shift. A low, resonant hum vibrates through the ruins. The air itself feels heavier. More aware. Velos takes a cautious step back. Commander, something's wrong. Dante chuckles. Oh, you're just noticing? A pulse ripples through the ground. The ruins move. Walls reform. Hallways twist. The terrain reshapes itself. The remaining Eridani soldiers panic, weapons raised, shouting. It's shifting! The ground! It's moving! It's... A massive tendril of organic stone erupts from the earth, wrapping around a soldier's leg. He screams as he's dragged into the ruins, vanishing without a trace. Another scream. Another soldier yanked into the dark. Zalvor makes the only call he can. Fall back. The last few warriors break into a sprint, their formations collapsing into raw, primal terror. They are not fighting an enemy. They are fighting something that was never meant to be fought. Dante watches them scramble, shaking his head. Smart move. But it won't matter. The walls twist, closing in. The sky itself darkens. Zalvor pushes forward, gripping Velos by the shoulder, hauling him out of the way of a jagged tendril of blackened stone that pierces the ground where he was standing. The ruins are alive. The entire planet is hunting them. His voice is calm but firm. We find an extraction point. Regroup. Recalibrate. Dante sighs dramatically. Oh yeah? That's gonna go great. Call for evac. Wait for a nice little pickup. Oh right. He gestures vaguely to the sky. No ships left. No signals getting out. And even if you found a way? Earth won't let you leave. Velos loses it. He raises his rifle and fires. Dante doesn't even flinch. The bullets hit, but they don't penetrate. They slow. Like the air around him is thickening. Like the planet itself is absorbing the impact. Then, faster than anyone can react, Dante moves. A blur, a knife through flesh. Velos stiffens. Looks down. The blade is buried in his chest. Dante tilts his head. You never had a chance. He twists the knife. Velos crumples. Zalvor doesn't waste time mourning. He pivots, plasma sword flashing in a desperate, precise arc. Dante ducks, weaves, his movements impossibly smooth. The two warriors clash. Zalvor throws everything he has into the fight. His form is flawless. His strikes are lethal, efficient, perfected over decades of combat. Dante meets every blow with terrifying ease. No wasted movements. No hesitation. As if he's already seen this fight before. Zalvor snarls, pressing forward, grinding his weight into the blade lock. What are you? Dante grins. Teeth sharp. Eyes burning. The last son of Earth. And you? You're just another dumbass who thought my home was empty. He leans in, voice dropping. It's never empty. Zalvor realizes too late. He's been pushed exactly where Dante wanted him. The ground collapses beneath his feet. He falls. Crashes into the depths of the ruins. Dante stands over the pit, peering down. His grin widens. Better start running, alien. This planet's just getting warmed up. Then he turns, vanishing into the shifting ruins. And below, in the darkness, Zalvor hears something move. Something big. Something hungry. The darkness pressed in around Zalvor like a living thing. He hit the ground hard, rolling into a crouch, plasma sword sparking to life in his grip. The air was thick, too thick. His breathing felt slow, sluggish, like the atmosphere itself was fighting him. His comms crackled. Static. Nothing else. Above him, the ruins shifted, swallowing the opening he had fallen through. No way back. A faint hum vibrated through the stone. Not an echo. A pulse. Like the planet was breathing. A whisper cut through the dark, voice smooth, confident. Still alive? Zalvor spun, blade raised, but there was nothing. Just shadows. The whisper came again, circling him. Good. I was worried you'd be boring. A flicker of movement, Zalvor lunged, his sword carving through the air. Missed. A sharp laugh followed. Nice try. Zalvor didn't hesitate. He activated his visor's night filters, scanning for heat signatures. Nothing. Like Dante wasn't even there. A sudden force slammed into his side, sending him skidding across the stone. Pain lanced through his ribs. He barely had time to recover before Dante was on him. Fast. Too fast. A brutal flurry of strikes. Zalvor blocked, countered, but it was like fighting a phantom. Dante's blows weren't just strong, they were calculated. Every attack funneled him deeper into the ruins, into the dark. A hard kick to his chest sent Salvor crashing against the wall. Dust cascaded down. A jagged stone fell, nearly impaling him. Dante stepped into the faint glow of his blade, his face an unreadable mask. Starting to feel it, huh? The pull? Salvor forced himself to stand. What are you talking about? Dante tilted his head. Earth. It's adapting to you. Salvor's fingers twitched. His grip felt wrong. His own body felt heavier. Slower. Like something inside him was changing. You don't leave this place the same, Dante continued, rolling his shoulders. That's assuming you leave at all. Salvor struck, his blade carving toward Dante's throat, but Dante caught it. Caught it. With his bare hand. Salvor's mind reeled. Impossible. Plasma should have burned through flesh and bone. Dante's fingers curled around the energy, like it was nothing more than warm air. A sharp grin. You're slow. Dante twisted. The blade, his weapon, shattered. Salvor staggered back, unarmed. His breath came hard and fast. This was wrong. All of it. Dante advanced. Let me guess. Your people think Earth is some primitive little rock. A wasteland. Maybe even a graveyard? Salvor's fingers twitched toward his sidearm. Dante saw it. Nope. A blur, a brutal fist slammed into Salvor's gut, lifting him off his feet. He crashed into the stone, vision blurring. Dante knelt beside him. You know what your problem is? You don't understand what you're dealing with. A deep rumble rolled through the ruins. Salvor pushed himself up. You're one man. One fighter. Dante's eyes gleamed. You still don't get it. Another rumble. Louder. Closer. I'm not what you should be afraid of. The ground split open. Something rose from the dark. Salvor's blood turned to ice. A shape. Vague. Shifting. Something, alive. The ruins weren't ruins. They were bones. The city wasn't dead. It was sleeping. Salvor had no words. His mind refused to comprehend what he was seeing. Dante stood calm. Relaxed. Like he'd seen it 1,000 times before. Earth isn't a death world, he said, rolling his neck. It's something worse. The thing moved. A deep, wet breath filled the air. The stone twisted into something organic. A limb. A mouth. 1,000 mouths. Dante sighed. You got two choices, alien. Run. His smirk sharpened. Or find out what happens when this planet decides you don't belong. Salvor chose. He ran. Salvor ran, every muscle screaming as he pushed forward, his breath ragged. The ruins around him twisted, the architecture shifting like a living thing. The sound behind him, a deep, resonant growl, was not the sound of something chasing him. It was the sound of something awakening. He leaped over a broken pillar, landed hard, rolled onto his feet, and sprinted. He'd lost his weapon. His squad was gone. The fleet was erased. His armor felt heavier, his own body rebelling against him. Something was wrong. Something was inside him now, working against him. The sound of footsteps, slow, measured, unhurried. Dante Graves. Come on, Commander. Dante's voice rang out from behind him, too close, too casual. You think you can outrun the planet? You think you can outrun me? Salvor lunged toward the ruins, searching for cover. His visor's interface flickered, warnings flashing across his screen. Biological irregularity detected. Foreign matter integration, 7%. His heartbeat spiked. What did that mean? A shadow moved beside him. Salvor reacted on instinct, swinging a fist. Nothing was there. His vision blurred. His thoughts felt slow. Integration, 12%. A cold realization clawed its way up his spine. The planet was absorbing him. He wasn't just on Earth. He was becoming part of it. Feel it yet? Dante's voice was everywhere now, around him, inside him. The pull? That's Earth deciding what to do with you. You're fighting it, but it's already too late. It always is. Salvor gritted his teeth and forced his legs to move. He wasn't going to die here. He refused to be another nameless fool swallowed by this forsaken world. A structure loomed ahead, an ancient spire of black stone, untouched by decay. It was wrong. Unnatural. He didn't know why, but instinct screamed at him to go toward it. Dante let out a low whistle. Oh, you're heading for that? Salvor didn't answer. Interesting choice. He reached the base of the spire and pressed a hand against it. A pulse ran through his arm, something alien yet familiar. A memory, not his, flashed through his mind. Men in armor, standing where he stood. But they weren't Eridani. They weren't aliens. They were human. His knees buckled. Impossible. Yeah. Dante's voice came from behind him. That's where you figure it out. Salvor turned, chest heaving. You're not the first. Dante finished for him. Not the last. Salvor's breath caught in his throat. There were others. Dante's grin was sharp. Not just others. There was an empire. Yours? No. Mine? Oh yeah? A long time ago. This? He gestured around them. This was the capital. Before Earth decided it didn't need one. The world shook. A deep, groaning shift beneath them, like the planet itself was waking up. That thing beneath us? Dante continued, jerking a thumb over his shoulder. That's not a monster. That's a remnant. A piece of something bigger. Something older. Salvor steadied himself against the spire, his mind racing. Humanity had an empire? Dante's smirk faded, just for a moment. Once. Salvor's gaze darted between him and the shifting darkness below. And you lost it. Dante's eyes burned. No. We left it behind. A horrifying realization dawned. You didn't fall. You abandoned the galaxy. Dante chuckled. That's a cute way of putting it. But sure. We left. Took our armies, our ships, our cities, and said, screw it, let's see what happens. And guess what? He spread his arms wide. Earth changed. It adapted. Just like we did. Salvor clenched his fists. Why? Why would your kind abandon power? You could have ruled everything. Dante leaned in, voice low. We got bored. The words hit like a hammer. Salvor had fought empires. Conquered civilizations. But this? This was insanity. An empire that gave it all up. That chose to become something else. Something worse. Something Earth had never stopped waiting for. The stone beneath his fingers pulsed again. Integration, 28%. Dante sighed, glancing at the numbers flashing on Salvor's visor. You don't have long now. Earth's deciding what to do with you. It might kill you. Might keep you. His grin widened. Might turn you into something like me. Salvor's hand snapped to his sidearm. You're lying. Dante raised an eyebrow. Oh, buddy. I wish I was. The spire flared with energy. Salvor's head pounded. The ground shook violently. The ruins weren't ruins anymore. They were alive. Dante backed away, shaking his head. Looks like Earth's made up its mind. Salvor dropped to one knee, gasping. His fingers twitched. His veins burned. Integration, 42%. His body was no longer his. Dante let out a low whistle. Damn. Thought you'd last longer. Salvor fought it. He would not die here. You're strong, Dante admitted. Most don't make it past 10%. But here's the thing, Commander, Earth doesn't let go. Ever. Salvor forced himself upright, vision swimming. His mind felt fractured. Memories that weren't his whispered through his skull. Battles fought before he was born. Wars waged in a time long forgotten. His fingers flexed. His skin darkened. Hardened. His mind screamed. Dante sighed. Yeah, that's the part where it starts to hurt. Zalvor lunged, one last, desperate attack. Dante caught his fist with zero effort. Held it. Studied it. The Eridani warlord wasn't Eridani anymore. Dante exhaled. Yeah. You're done. The numbers on Zalvor's visor blinked 100%. His visor shattered. The integration was complete. Dante let go, stepping back. Zalvor staggered. His breath came slow. Controlled. His body no longer felt foreign. He looked at his hands. Stronger. Different. More. His gaze lifted to Dante. Dante grinned. Welcome home. Zalvor's breathing was steady. Too steady. His mind should have been clouded with panic, his thoughts racing to find a way out, but instead, he felt calm. Centered. Powerful. His armor, once an extension of his body, now felt like a shell. A cage. Something old. Something weak. Dante stood before him, arms crossed, head tilted slightly as he watched. Studying. Evaluating. How's it feel? Zalvor flexed his fingers. The sensation was wrong. Like moving a limb he hadn't realized was his. His pulse thrummed in his ears, in sync with something far greater than himself. The ruins weren't ruins anymore. They were alive. The air wasn't just heavy. It was watching. He exhaled slowly, feeling the breath ripple through the space around him. The weight of earth settling into him. I am different. Dante chuckled, shaking his head. Understatement of the year. Zalvor's gaze snapped to him, new clarity burning behind his eyes. There was no arrogance in the human stance, no gloating. Just certainty. Understanding. You did this to me. Dante shrugged. Not me. The planet. I told you, it decides. And buddy, it decided you're worth keeping. Zalvor's fists clenched. He should have been furious. Enraged. Ready to tear Dante apart for what he had done. But instead? He felt whole. Like something missing had been returned to him. You knew this would happen. Dante nodded. Yeah. You fit the profile. Strong. Adaptable. Too stubborn to die. The usual. A slow, unsettling realization crept through Zalvor. He wasn't the first. How many? His voice was different now, deeper, carrying something ancient within it. Dante exhaled through his nose, studying him for a long moment. Not many. Most don't make it. They fight too hard. Reject it. The planet swallows them whole, erases them like they never existed. Zalvor's eyes flickered with something unreadable. But some do. Dante's grin was sharp. Yeah. Some do. A heavy silence stretched between them. The ruins pulsed around them, shifting subtly, aligning to a new rhythm. His rhythm. Zalvor could feel it now, the way earth wrapped itself around him like armor, its presence whispering beneath his skin, waiting. Waiting for his decision. Dante watched him carefully. I know what you're thinking. Zalvor's jaw tightened. Do you? Dante nodded. Yeah. You're wondering what comes next. What you do with all of this. And I can tell you, right now, you've got two options. Zalvor felt it. The fork in the road. The pull in both directions. One path leading back to the stars, to the warlord he had been, the conqueror, the strategist. The other? Deeper. Into the unknown. Into Earth itself. His fingers flexed again. The power in him, it wasn't just strength. It was evolution. A version of himself that had never existed before this moment. What happens if I leave? Dante exhaled, running a hand through his hair. Doubt you can, at this point. Your fleet's gone, your soldiers are dust, and Earth doesn't exactly do departures. But sure, let's say you figure it out. Let's say you get off this rock. What then? Zalvor's mind filled with images of his people. Of the Eridani dominion. Of an empire built on conquest. He could go back. He could bring war to the stars unlike anything they had ever seen. The knowledge he had now, The power. He could reshape everything. Dante smirked. Yeah. That's one way to go. Salvor looked at him. You don't seem concerned. Dante laughed, low and knowing. Why would I be? You think you're the first to get this idea? You think Earth hasn't had people like you before? You wouldn't make it 2 steps before the planet calls you back. You're part of this now. Leaving? He shook his head. That's not in your nature anymore. Salvor felt it, the truth in those words. He could try to leave. He could tell himself he was still the same man. That he still had a place among the stars, among his people. But he knew. He wasn't Eridani anymore. He looked at his hands again. Stronger. Different. More. Dante studied him carefully. And then there's the second option. Salvor met his gaze. Dante's grin returned. You stay. Something deep within Salvor stirred. Not fear. Not rage. Anticipation. And if I stay? Dante gestured broadly to the ruins, to the land beyond, to the horizon stretching farther than any empire had ever conquered. You become something more than you ever imagined. Salvor stood still for a long time. The choice wasn't really a choice at all. The stars felt distant now. The ground beneath him felt like home. The final piece clicked into place. He looked at Dante, no hesitation in his voice anymore. What happens now? Dante's grin widened. Now? We teach you how to use it.